Welcome back to my F1 25 My Team career mode of Caterham. Today we're going to be at Imola, round number... I don't have a fucking clue. We obviously had a phenomenal showing in Miami last race. Well, not last race, the race technically before, because the GP didn't go great, but the sprint very much did for us. Imola, however, I was not going into this with any level of positivity whatsoever. I have a history of being diabolically bad at Imola, and for some reason I just had a feeling that the car wasn't going to help me this race. We jumped to the end of Q1 because, let's be honest, there's going to be very little to show, especially in the qualifying sessions this race. Coming through the final couple corners now, we currently sit P19 ahead of Dirksen, ahead of Stroll, ahead of someone else that somehow is doing worse than I am, up to the line for our fastest run in Q1. It's not going to be good, and we're going to end up P17 and out of qualifying pretty much immediately. That didn't really come as much of a shock to me. I've just realised Borsalester got P4 in Q1. Somehow I gloss over that, but we qualify P17. We end up half a second ahead of Dirksen, and the car in last place is Jack Doohan, something the Colapinto fans are going to absolutely love. But unfortunately, my concerns of not being very quick at Imola have been well and truly backed up pretty much immediately. Now, even before qualifying or practice, I knew this wasn't going to be a good race. I'm just not quick at Imola, especially compared to the AI. And also everyone else. It's just not a track that I really like in any way, shape or form. It's a track that requires confidence, the ability not to corner cut, downforce, engine power, everything that the Caterham team doesn't have. So instead of giving myself absolutely nothing to fight for like I was expecting, I decided I'm going to set myself my own personal challenge. I want to get through this race, no matter how slow I am, without getting a corner cutting penalty. Ideally a warning, but let's be real, I'm probably going to get at least one warning. Things didn't start off too well because it's going to rain at the end of the race, so there's a high likelihood that I get through the entire race and then the rain hits and I just immediately go off track and get a penalty. But let's see how it goes.
This place has gone by many titles.
And here's every single one of those titles.
Welcome to the commentary box. I'm Alex Jakes. Delighted to say joining us for this intriguing race is Anthony Davidson. Well, they might be the new kids on the block, but they are getting stuck in to the big boys. They're not making many friends along the way, though.
Well, that's a good thing, though. You know what? If you're a member of that team, the new 11th team, take it as a backhanded compliment. It means you're doing very well, too well, and the other teams don't like it.
Nothing strikes fear into an F1 team like qualifying P17, I guess. Okay, so it's looking like it's going to be mediums onto hards, and then we'll see if the rain gets heavy enough for inters until the end. It might be a 4-stop, there might be chaos. The chaos will probably be thanks to me. It's almost impossible to overtake here, especially in this car, so this start could be crucial. We have 5 lights. Lights out, and away we go. It's been a fairly decent start, especially compared to Behrman ahead of us, but because of the nature of the track, there is just nowhere for us to go. We're almost going onto the grass immediately, almost getting an invalidation instantly. We're going to be side by side with Lawson into turn number 1. Are we going to get the Alpha Tauri? It's not the Alpha Tauri, is it? You fucking idiot. Exiting turn 3, we're side by side of Lawson, and it looks like we're going to get him on the way down to turn number 4. Turn number 5. What is with the core numbers at this track? We're side by side through the second chicane, and we've got past Lawson up in the P16. We can't go for a send on Behrman into the hairpin because Behrman and Borsalester are side by side, and by the looks of it, we've already condemned ourselves to P16. Unless, of course, this car has suddenly found some phenomenal pace in a straight line. We're going to use ERS on the exit at the final corner, and I can confidently say, nope, we will not be overtaking anyone else this race. We're definitely going to be the defending car for most of this race, but it looks like, at least in the case of the B car, we are able to hold on into turn number 2. Whether that will be the case when we don't have DRS is a whole other issue we'll have to deal with later, but on the plus side, we've made it 2 laps and we've not got a corner cut yet. Like every track seems to have, I found the part of the track where the AI used the ERS for no reason whatsoever, and it is down towards turn number 9. Lawson tries to get on my inside, we manage to outbrake him and hold on to P16. You can see we're falling away from the Haas and the battle ahead. We were staying with them purely because they were battling somewhat into turn number 2, but in reality this car just simply did not have enough to challenge them whatsoever. Our focus was solely on Lawson. All we could hope for was collisions and damage, but on pure pace, we were comfortably the slowest car this race. Unfortunately, I learned that very early on. Watching this back, I'm genuinely shocked that I was holding on to the back of Behrman for this long. We're still in DRS. We've got Bortoleto and Ocon ahead, going side by side for turn number 2, 3 and 4. And this is exactly why I was able to catch him to the back of Behrman. You can see we had a good run, but we just didn't have the pace at all. We couldn't do anything. We're not even close enough to dive into the hairpin. It's just, I could easily blame the car, but it's just a shit track. Especially because the curbs of this track rival F1 2010 for how deadly they are. This was the pattern that followed throughout pretty much the entire first stint. We were just holding on to Behrman as he continued to battle his teammate. We were actually closing in on Ocon because he started on soft tyres and was losing grip, but still, he was comfortably faster than me. Maybe we can get up in the P15 if Ocon really falls off the cliff, but even with worn tyres, this Haas was comfortably faster than the Caterham. Later on in the lap, it looked like someone else either had damage or was on the soft tyres, as there was a train forming for, I think, the final point claim position. Again, we're going to be right on the back, and you can see the second we get to any kind of straight, every single car just drives off, and Lawson is trying to look around my outside at the penultimate corner. That's not going to work out for him. You know it's bad when even the AI with their OP ERS can actually overtake me. But yeah, this is Imola. This is all I had to offer, really. Even with me 1.1 seconds behind Ocon, Lawson can't even challenge to make a move on me into turn number 2. So at least it seems like we've locked in P16. That's good, I guess. By lap number 7, we are the closest we've ever been to a Haas this race. It's Ocon this time. His tyres are definitely falling away. I imagine he's going to pit at the end of this lap. Are we going to have a look around the outside of the chicane? Nope, because the second we get onto the throttle, he drives away. He was absolutely shocking in the corners, and apparently I was even worse in the traction zones. Despite him having worn tyres, Lawson's hit the back of me. Doohan is now going to get through for P17, and it seems my allergy for closely following behind a car is ever present, even in Imola. For some reason, the second I get close onto the back of someone, I just lose the back end. But Ocon and Hulkenberg are coming to the pit. We're going to go up into P12. Obviously, it's not for points. We definitely don't deserve points at all. But almost a third into this race, so far, we've not got any warnings. We're on track for our goal. I know what you're expecting. You were fully expecting me to run wide at the penultimate corner and get a warning there, weren't you? You were fully expecting it. Well, fuck you. At the end of lap number 9, we're going to come in for our first pit stop. The mediums, as we've seen, I was starting to struggle with them, and I didn't want to lose the back end or, you know, drift wide and get an invalidation. We were running well so far. For what we were expecting, we were running well. So we're going to go onto the hard tyres. We're going to try and make it to the wet weather. Maybe, if AI have to pit again, fuck you, game. I'll be honest, it was quite unsettling just how fast Behrman was able to pull away from me. You can see we've got cars coming out the pit now. We've gained absolutely nothing in the pit stops. We're still P16. We're at least ahead of Sainz and Lawson. We've pulled a 3-second gap on them. That's not going to last, but Behrman, he'd pulled 2 seconds on me, and Jesus Christ, man, he needs to calm down. Can you stop thinking so little of me, please? It's actually getting a bit insulting now. I'm going to continue this clip, but I just want you to know, when the volume is louder, it doesn't always mean I'm about to corner cut. I know that's the trend I've kind of set in this series, but it doesn't mean that. Just enjoy the sounds of the Renault Power Unit. It's the last we're going to be hearing of it in the game. Now, before you go down to the fucking comments and say something, That was my first warning. You can tell this because immediately I pause the game, I go to Race Director, and look at this shit. Now you may be thinking, I just didn't show the other corner cuts I did on lap number 12. However, I raised to you the point that this race is incredibly boring, and a track extension is the most exciting thing that would have happened to me. This is bullshit. I do not deserve this. I was genuinely trying my hardest not to get a penalty this race, and I have never been slapped in the face more by a game in my life. This was the start of the spiral of this race. It was going well, all things considered. From this point, it's fair to say I lost a lot of motivation and I was severely pissed off. As far as I'm concerned, I was racing on one warning by this point. As usual, we're going to pretend like the penalty isn't there. Really, it shouldn't be. On this occasion, it actually shouldn't be. We've only got one warning and the game said, fuck you, you're not getting away without a penalty this race. On to lap number 16, the halfway point of this race. We're going to get out just ahead of Antonelli, who's made the second stop. We've got yellow flags ahead. We've got Ocon off in the gravel at turn number 2. Norris is P13. Once again, Norris is desperately trying to throw away the championship. But I will be honest, after that penalty, I kind of just mentally checked out. I wasn't really trying anymore because I wasn't going for points, even with this drama going on around me. We've got Antonelli trying it into turn number 9. We lose the back end thanks to the curbs, and Antonelli gets past me, although that was always going to happen. Doohan tries to go up the inside into turn number 11. We go clean around his outside and hold on to P15. I'll be honest, that move was a little dramatic considering it was for P15. I think what was more of a middle finger was the fact that the rain was coming soon, and a lot of the AI were pitting. So without this penalty, I could have legitimately been on for a potential points finish if I kept it clean, which so far, I only had one warning. I was doing well. If I could hold out for a couple more laps and then the rain came, I would actually be in contention for points at a track that is incredibly difficult to overtake. And honestly, the thought of that was just pissing me off more. By lap number 20, we've got a yellow flag down the main straight. Of course, all hell is going to kick off now that I've got a penalty and I'm going to be out of it no matter what happens. Alonso goes out of session with presumably an engine issue as Alonso. Just as the rain is coming down, if a safety car comes out, perfect time to go into the intermediate tyres. It doesn't look like we're going to get a VSC or a safety car for that. Somehow, the FIA being incredibly cautious, unlike my driving style. We lose out on traction and Doohan makes the most of it, going up into P12. We will be boxing for inters at the end of this lap. We're going to try and repass Doohan before the pit stops into the penultimate corner. We misjudge it, hit the back of him, break our wing, the safety car comes out, we get a 10-second time penalty for hitting Doohan. We then get an illegal overtake on Doohan, which honestly, I'm not entirely sure I deserve that one. Watching the incident back, it was very clearly my fault. In the moment, I had lost my head a bit and I was desperately questioning whether I actually hit the back of him, because I thought I was clear. Obviously, I definitely hit the back of him. There's absolutely no question about it. Completely my fault. You don't have to have a go at me in the comments. The race was already fucked from the 3-second time penalty. I was desperately trying to justify my own ego here. I very clearly hit the back of Doohan. The 10-second time penalty is without question deserved. Unlike the 3-second time penalty, the illegal overtake is utter bullshit, and the downward spiral of what could have been a somehow good result at Imola has now gone to utter shit. And because of all the shit I had to deal with, I very nearly don't catch onto the back of the pack as the race gets underway again. We literally have to push to catch the pack, and the second we catch onto the back of them, it's race time. Fair to say, this race might be the worst one. But heading on to lap number 25, it's a terrible restart in the wet. We're in the wet against the AI. We're not winning this. Absolutely, we're never gonna win this one. We're still gonna race on though. Honestly, I'm not too sure how many warnings there was at this stage. Obviously, I only deserve one, but once I got that penalty, I kind of lost my focus and did actually get legitimate warnings. We go for a send on Gasly into the chicane. We managed to get the Alpine. Obviously it's not going to matter. We're finishing last. We're not going to be able to pull away from the cars behind. Maybe Dirksen if it was in the dry, in the wet. Absolutely no chance. Despite the anger I was feeling, I really tried my best in the rain, but you can't compete. It's better now since the update, but this was recorded pre-update. You just can't compete with AI that do not make mistakes under traction whatsoever. You can see we're making mistakes in the braking zones. We're managing to fight Hulkenberg. He's got the inside line for turn number 9. We're going to try and hold it on the outside. We make contact for the second race in a row of Hulkenberg. We managed to hold a position. It's obviously not going to matter. I mean, what is there to say anymore? I'm pretty sure. Is this my 6 seconds? There it is. Genuinely, if I didn't get that 3-second time penalty, I fully believe I would have at least top 12. At least. Getting that instant penalty, it just completely drained my motivation. Obviously I still would have struggled in the wet, not as much as the Williams, but actually probably as much as the Williams. But after that instant penalty, I really just lost the will to live, to be honest. I could just see the comments already claiming that I bottled it, even though I didn't. And I think that's what was getting to me the most. I could just see the comments already. They weren't going to believe that I only got 1 warning. So I kind of just... I lost it. But we make it to the end. We come home last. Arguably through no fault of our own. P19. We love P19. I fucking hate this track. Oscar Piastri wins the Imola Grand Prix ahead of Max Verstappen and Charles Leclerc. I'm pretty sure Leclerc was leading for most of that, so... Typical Ferrari, threw it away. Speaking of threw it away, Norris started on pole. Jack Doohan ended up in P12, who we were fighting, so I genuinely believe we could have been on for at least P12. Maybe even more, but the game decided it wasn't my day today. And also I did hit the back of Doohan and completely lose my mind. In the drivers, Lando still has over a race win over Verstappen, but only just 26 points. Seeing him in the past few races, seeing the lead that big still, is actually genuinely surprising. As you can see in the constructors for us, we've dropped down to P10 with Ollie Behrman getting 4 points for Haas, as well as Bortoleto getting a single point for Sauber, not at all helping the fact that they are our rivals. And I was so pissed off this race that I didn't even bother to look at the race replay to get a thumbnail, so I'm going to have to do that after I finish recording this. I think it's fair to say that after this race I was very much done with F1 for the day. All I have to say is this game is truly shit and I never want to play it again. See you in Monaco.